The unhappiest advisors have $225 million under management. And it's not just like a random number out of thin air. If you look at most advisory firms in practice, we talk about 1% AUM fees, but in practice, most advisory firms really have a revenue yield of about 70 to 75 basis points that they earn on their assets. By the time you get, the 401k plan, a lower fee, the big client that got a big fee break, some clients that got householded together and such. So $225 million practice usually has about $1.7 to $1.8 million of revenue. Now, advisory firms of that size often have about $250,000 of revenue per employee. Just like the number of people it takes to do the work, to deliver the services, to generate $1.7+ million of revenue. So an advisory firm of that size is probably about 7 employees. Now, if you look at most books on management, traditional management guidance would tell you that a manager often can handle no more than about 5 to 7 direct reports. Beyond that, just it's hard to really be meaningfully invested in training and developing them and bringing them up. And so advisory firms that are $225 million under management typically have $1.7 million of revenue, about 7 staff, which means they are at the maximum capacity of how many people a person can typically manage, and of course have like 132 clients of their own, which means they're basically doing 2 full-time jobs at the same time, and the hours go up. And what we see most commonly from advisors in that scenario is something to the effect of, I've never made more money than I have at any point in my life. I never even thought it was going to get as big as it is, and I've never been more miserable, because I may have unwittingly grown this past the point where it's fun and I get to do the things that I like to do, which is serve clients. And I've gotten trapped in this realm where now I mostly manage people and get around serving clients when I can, and it doesn't feel good. And to me, it's one of the almost inevitable challenges that comes if you don't build your advisory firm with a clear intention of what it is that you're trying to create in the first time. You will almost inevitably just grow past that point, because the amazing thing about the advisory business is we do tend to just accumulate clients if we're not clear about what we're trying to build towards.